We now return to Best of 7 Sports Talk on T7N Radio.
But let's start, fellas, with Antonio Brown. AB, possible landing spots for Antonio Brown. Now, AB is still technically signed with the Steelers. He owns an NFL record, 6 consecutive 100-catch seasons. AB believes that he's going to be traded by the Steelers because the Steelers can avoid paying that $2.5 million roster bonus by either trading or releasing him before March the 17th. KB, where do you rank AB at number one off the top? Where do you rank Antonio Brown at in the NFL as far as wide receivers go?
Him and DeAndre Hopkins for 1 and 2.
No Julio Jones.
Man, nah. If a dude can go with no drop passes for an entire season, I never seen that in my life. That's DeAndre Hopkins, man.
Okay.
D-Hop and AB 1 and 2.
Respect. What about you, Mike? Where do you rank AB as far as wide receivers in the NFL?
I gotta say it's probably like 4 guys right there at the top, right there. Hopkins, Julio, Odell, and Antonio. Although I kind of think Julio Jones is the best, but I don't know if he proved that this past year. But if I can't have Julio, I'll probably take Antonio Brown next.
Okay. Now, what does AB, in your opinion, Mike, does he make teams better? I mean, I know skill set wise, we talked about he's one of the best, but his attitude, his behavior, do you think he makes teams better? He's only really been with the Steelers, but do you think what we seeing, his attitude, what he's displaying, do you think that's the type of behavior that you really want in your locker room?
I think it would depend on the organization, because I was watching an interview that Antonio Brown did with some dude from ESPN. I can't remember his name. But Antonio Brown, he wants to feel like he's part of a family. And he wants to be honest. He wants the lines of communications open. And he doesn't want to feel like he's below or beneath anybody. And there's organizations out there that could probably fit that mind state for him, but it doesn't seem like the Steelers are one of them. So I just think it depends on the organization.
Now, KB, the Raiders, the Redskins, and the Titans are kind of leading the way as far as to teams that's looking to sign Antonio Brown. Where do you think, KB, Antonio probably will wind up at if the Steelers do decide to trade or release him?
If he go to any of them teams, his career is over. Raiders, Titans, and Redskins, if he go to any of those teams, his career is over. Might as well hang his jersey up in the Steelers and might as well put him in a wheelchair. He's done if he go to any of those teams. So that's what I think. And then as far as his attitude and does he make teams better, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like he has this diva mentality of somebody who's already won, and he hasn't won anything. You can have all the numbers you want, but if them numbers don't lead to W's and you haven't won shit, I think you need to fall in line and get with the program, homeboy, till you bring some chips home.
That's a fact.
How I feel about it.
That's a fact.
Right.
Now,
then him and Leon been hijacking the off season for the last 2 years, and they've been talking about what they want to do, how they feel like doing shit, and they haven't won anything yet. Both of them need to get their rings up first before they start to making all these demands.
see, this is the problem that I have with Antonio Brown, fellas. This is my problem. I don't want that energy in my locker room. Now, I'm a Ravens fan, so, we definitely could use a wideout as far as with his skill set. But I don't like his attitude. And like you said, Mike, depending on the franchise that he's with, it could be make or break. I don't see someone like AB being an asset to someone like Lamar Jackson that really can't throw the football. And when AB doesn't get his touches, I can just imagine how crazy that locker room would be mid-season when his numbers is not up. And another thing, you talked about the ESPN interview. This is another reason, fellas, why I'm not really feeling AB. He says they want to. He's talking about the Steelers. He said they want to start with a fresh offseason with no bad blood, so their team could just focus on football. No distractions from any player. So I think they'll get the trade done. So basically, to me, he's admitting that he is the distraction. He is the problem. It's not Big Ben. It's him. So if we got somebody that's on that type of time, I don't want him on my football team, no matter how good he is on the field.
Right, and for me, I feel like I'm a Raider fan, and I feel like he would be a good fit for the Raiders because he'll fall in line with the Raiders because John Gruden's not going to play that, and then he'll have somebody with a personality match on the team with him, with as far as Marshawn Lynch is concerned, because we stand in Oakland, so Marshawn Lynch is going to be there, and they'll humble him out. You know what I mean? Like they'll keep him on the straight and narrow. I think he'd be a good fit for the Raiders personally, and Derek Carr could throw the football. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
true.
That's
That's
true. Need
true.
somebody to throw to.
But when they start to struggle, what is Antonio going to be like? Because Derek Carr has been up and down like a roller coaster. So when we get into those bad times, you know, what type of energy are we going to get from AB mid-season or when these guys are not making the playoffs? That's really what I'm looking at. You know, I don't want the potential bad vibes that it seemed like Antonio bringing to the table.
I don't think it'd be a good fit with the Raiders because I think as soon as he start beefing with John Gruden going to fuck it up and find a way to get him out of there. Just like anybody who don't agree with him on any team he's ever been on, you don't agree with Gruden, you get traded.
Right. That's a fact.
That's true.
Look at John Gruden literally blessed 2 franchises and changed their whole season by giving away their best players for nothing. So
that wasn't John Gruden.
Trade, we still got to wait and see because they got a first rounder for this. We got to see what that turns out to be. But Khalil Mack, he set up way bad. So
now, Antonio Brown, I don't know if you guys know, he took a shot at Shannon Sharp from Undisputed. He said, this guy's the biggest joke. You're going to put the Hennessy and Backwoods up there, then you fitting to criticize me. You a joke. You setting a bad example, then you hating. So Antonio Brown is just letting off a full clip at the media. He letting the organization know how he feel. He going hard. I respect somebody that's transparent and see-through, that don't play no games. I respect that part. But again, you know, in the NFL, you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. And I just don't feel like he's the type of wide receiver when you have bad days or when you have a young quarterback that he's going to be the one that's going to be by your side. He just seems to me like he'll throw your ass under the bus in the postseason interview before he keeps shit in-house. That seems to be the problem with him and Big Ben.
Man, a lot of players do that, though. He shook a shot at Big Ben, too, in another article when on that show with LeBron James when he said something about he throw the ball straight to the D-line. Man, how am I supposed to run a better route when you're throwing bad balls? Yeah. I heard him. They throw a couple shots, but I mean, what he said about Shannon Sharp is kind of true though, because Shannon Sharp cooned it up real bad, and I don't really like some of his little antics that he have on his show. You know, but
Skip.
I'm not really feeling some of the stuff that Shannon Sharp be doing, but that's just a little side note. But
I got you. All right, well, we're going to let the people decide and let us know in the comments section what y'all think where Antonio Brown is going to wind up in the upcoming NFL season. Y'all let us know, man. This is T7L Radio, Best of 7 Sports Talk. 7 Mitchell, KB, Mike in the building. Callers, y'all call up, man. 516-666-8432, man. If y'all on YouTube watching the live stream, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Next up, man, we got to talk about the Lakers. We got to talk about my Lakers. We got to talk about KB's Lakers. Mike, who's your team when it comes to the NBA? Because I know you out in Cali, so who you running with this year? So we know, so I can document this.
Man, I'm a Clipper fan.
Ooh,
man, shout out to Cali.
Appreciate it. Shout out to wherever you from
I
bro.
wasn't expecting you to say that one. Wow. Okay. Why the Clippers over the Lakers?
I got history, man.
Okay.
I got history. I can't be a Laker fan due to honor. You know what I'm saying? Due to standing on my principles.
Well, let's get right into this, fella. What you gonna say?
Right.
What you gonna say?
I was just saying I bet against the Lakers. I bet against the Lakers before. I bet against the Lakers plenty of times. So, and this is prior to me even having a team when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I bet against the Lakers. I wanted them to lose, so I was like, I can't ever be a fan of them since I wanted them to lose. You know what I'm saying?
They for the Clippers.
So I'm a Clipper fan, man. I'm from L.A. County, so you know what I mean. Like I got to choose one of them.
I said, who do you think is the best player to ever play for the Clippers?
I I don't know, man. Danny Manning or something, Elton Brand.
Somebody old school.
Over Chris.
World Be Free.
Over Chris Paul.
Oh, Chris Paul, nice too. Yeah, Chris Paul. I'm not a Chris. I wasn't a fan of Chris Paul in L.A., man. I wasn't a huge fan of that.
Oh, you didn't like Love City? You wasn't feeling Love City? Real overrated?
Yeah, exactly.
CP3 and Blake Griffin are the greatest players that ever played for the Clippers ever. They going down to history, baby. That's
wow. KB, that's real disrespectful. Wow. All right, well, check this out, man. Let's get into the other team. Let's get into the other team in the Staples Center, man. Let's talk about the LA Lakers, man. We just watched last night. They surrendered a 15-2 run over the final 3 minutes versus the NBA leading record Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Lakers are now staring, fellas, at a 14% playoff probability. This is the lowest mark they've seen all season. Only 20 games left. They are 4 games out behind the Clippers, who are now in 7th place, 3.5 behind the Spurs. Now, the Spurs own the tiebreaker versus the Lakers. To me, I think the Lakers are going to need 44 victories, I'm going to say 44 wins this year to get in the playoffs. So that's, 14-6?
14 more games.
Yeah, I think they got to be 14-6 versus, this is the 10th toughest remaining schedule that they got. 10 of them home, 10 of them away. Their schedule does include the Nuggets, the Celtics, the Bucks again. They got Golden State, OKC. KB, you and I talked about this before on and off air about the Lakers' chances of making the playoffs. I was impressed with the way they played last night versus Milwaukee until that last 5 minutes. The way they collapsed in the fourth quarter, it was just unexplainable. And it's the same old story with the turnovers and the defense. With 20 games left, KB, I don't know how they're going to clean this up.
That's what I'm saying. All right. And I've been waiting to talk about this all day. And it starts, where it starts from. And he likes to keep dodging this. It starts and it ends with LeBron James.
I got to agree. I have to agree.
He sets the tone for the defense. And they've even been highlighting how ugly LeBron been looking out there. Man, LeBron looks so terrible. LeBron only playing offense out there. He not playing no defense. He takes plays off. He's letting niggas score on him, and then he's getting mad that dude's scoring on him, and he's looking at his teammate like, what the fuck, man, with all this? Nah, ain't nobody trying to hear that. You need to play some defense and get your ass out there. You getting $34 million this year, and go play some defense. I don't want to hear about all this sitting out. I agree with Stephen A. Smith and Jalen Rose when they was talking about this yesterday. LeBron need to go out there and go show him proof. He like to keep on saying he's the best player in the league. Well, it's his 16th year. LeBron don't like the fact that LeBron is declining a little bit. He's starting to not – like, he's still athletic and everything, but LeBron is physically – he's tired. He done carried Cleveland for 11 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, franchise been on his back. He's feeling the after effects of that. And, Brandon Ingram, he is that off and on, like we just talked about last episode. Every other night, he going to give you 30 points every, 6 games.
Right. Then
the rest of the games, he going to disappear, start giving you 11 and 13 and missing wide-open buckets, getting air balls, and not playing no defense either. So it start with LeBron, but none of these dudes play defense. They missing Lonzo Ball badly. And that's what I'm saying. Some dudes, everything they do don't show up on the stat sheet. Lonzo don't score a lot. He's the Lakers' best defender. He's the Lakers' best passer besides LeBron and Rondo. But Rondo's missed almost 40 games this year. Like I said again, bad contract, which he should have never got him. Rondo should have just stayed in New Orleans or went somewhere else.
Well, what about you, Mike? What have you seen, even though you're a Clippers fan, what have you seen from the Lakers and LeBron? Do you think I know you don't feel like they're gonna, knock off your boys for a 7-4 8th seed, but do you think that even if your boys get the 7th seed, do you think that the Lakers and LeBron with 20 games left can somehow, some way, squeeze by and get this 8th spot?
I think that no, I don't think they can. Let me just be frank about it. No.
Wow.
And for me, I'm like LeBron has been overrated his whole career, I think. He was in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, he was in the Eastern Conference, and he made it to 9 finals now, right? But if you look at it, if he was in the Western Conference, he would have only made it to the finals 3 times, and those were the 3 times that he won it. The other 6 times, he would have got eliminated by the Western Conference team that beat him in the finals. So to me, he's like in my eyes, it's like he almost only has 3 finals appearances. So I think that LeBron's a little overrated, and he's finally in the Western Conference, and it's tough out here. Anthony Davis isn't even in the playoff race right now. So I don't think that the Lakers are going to make it, especially with the uncertainty of Lonzo Ball coming back and the amount of time it's going to take for Lonzo Ball to get back in the groove of things once he does return, and there's only 20 games left. So, and to me, I look at the Lakers, and I'm saying that Lonzo Ball is the glue, like KB was saying. The dude plays defense.
This is crazy.
He
Fellas,
passes.
do you hear what? Do you hear this? I mean,
these are facts.
But who would have
These
thought?
are facts,
Who would have thought when LeBron first came to LA that with 60 games in, we would feel like Lonzo Ball is the X factor with the Lakers making the postseason? Who would have thought?
I'm a UCLA
Who's the
fan,
guy
so I
who
kinda
gets
thought that
along
already.
with everybody on the team? Who's the one that's always in everybody's videos, making jokes, cracking up? They like playing with Lonzo Ball.
No, I'm not
That's what
denying
I'm
that.
saying.
I'm not denying that at all. I'm just surprised that at the end of the day, with as much impact that LeBron brings to the table, we're just talking about making the postseason. Who would have thought that it would come down to this? And it's not really LeBron that's the deciding factor. It's everything around him that's going to make or break this team making the postseason. And imagining LeBron not making the playoffs is blasphemous to me.
Right, it is pretty shocking.
But it's the West. That's what, like he said, LeBron been in the East for so long, dominating. Like in the East, the team with that goes 34 and like 40 something, they make the playoffs. Like,
right.
So when you smoke out the 8th seed, that's nothing. Like LeBron had went 7 games with the Indiana Pacers last year. You think LeBron James is going to win a game in the 8th seed against the Golden State Warriors? He might win one game if Denver get the number 1 spot. He win one game, but we're going to get to that next topic. I got some heat info to drop on you for some Denver information. So I'll save that for next topic.
Well, let's get right into it, man. This is T7M Radio. You are now rocking with the best of 7 Sports Talk. T7M Radio, man. 7 Mitchell, KB, Mike in the building, man. Let's get into our last topic, man. We got to get into the Denver Nuggets. They creeping up to hold down and lock in that number 1 seed this late in the Western Conference. This is unbelievable. Now, Mike, I'm going to start off with you because you have brought this topic up. Like, what's your initial thoughts on Denver with they got a couple names on their squad that's kind of familiar, but they don't have no superstars on this team. For them to be a 1 seed in the West,
Sleepers.
How surprising, Mike, is this to you? What do you have to say about these Nuggets?
Oh, man, I'm pretty surprised. I'm not surprised that they're in the playoffs, but I'm surprised that they are fighting for the 1 seed. It's just kind of refreshing, though, to see a team that plays together being at the top, like everybody thinks it's about superstars, and then we have this team right here who pretty much lacks a superstar unless you want to count Jokic, and they're at the top, and like I'm not 100% shocked that they're being mentioned, but I'm 100% shocked that they're at the top.
I'm definitely shocked because if you go back, fellas, about 3 years when Golden State in 2015, they didn't really have any superstars, and they knew how to play together, and they wound up winning the championship. KB, do you think Denver? I don't think that they have the firepower that Golden State had back in 2015 when they won the chip. But KB, do you think that Denver has that X factor to really make a run for a championship?
Denver don't have the household names that everybody love and like. Now, to Mike's comment, they got 2 former All-Stars in Paul Millsap and Isaiah Thomas, right? So we gonna go to like they have a sleeper roster. Let's go through one through. I mean, let's just go through the players that they have.
Okay.
That's really notable.
Okay.
And then they have a lot actually. They got Isaiah Thomas. They got Paul Millsap. They got Will Barton. They got Jokic. They shouldn't have traded Kenneth Faried. They should have kept him. But they haven't even unleashed Michael Porter Jr. yet. They have not even unleashed Jamal Murray going crazy, dropping 50 on Kyrie earlier this season, pissing them off. So, they got the firepower. They got some dudes out there that can really go at it and ball with you. So, I still think Isaiah Thomas got that playoff mode in him. When it really comes down and they need a bucket, that man's going to be in the game. Keep sleeping. Isaiah Thomas is going to make his impact. He's not going to make it now. He's just coming back. He's going to make it in the playoffs. That one little move is going to pay dividends eventually. And then, they the best defensive team in the league almost. And he said it was refreshing to see somebody playing team. It's refreshing to not see Golden State at number one. They've been running the league ever since they all got together.
But let's be real,
like
KB. Let's be real. That's a fact. But let's be real. How long, because this is the topic, do you really think that Denver is going to be able to hold this one seed in this next 20 games? Do you really think that Golden State is not going to get it together?
They got the team play and they have the defense to hold it. So I think that you're going to see Denver at the number one spot, but Golden State still has the chemistry and the big names that kind of smoke them out. They still beat them in 6 games. But if barring, and how Golden State be having these fluke injuries, Steph Curry got the Mr. Glass ankles, and sometimes Clay and KD not healthy, so, but they got the X factor of all X factors coming into the playoffs. They about to unleash DeMarcus Cousins for the first time in the playoffs.
Here you go. You keep talking to me about Boogie. You are really sold on Boogie. I can't wait, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. Listen, Boogie and Embiid are the best 2 big men in the league, man. That injury, he's playing like it didn't even happen.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this, Mike. When it comes to 1 seed, given that Denver gets the 1 seed and Golden State is the 2 seed, do you think Golden State, with KB brought up the injuries and stuff like that, do you think they'd be better off, or do you think that it would affect them at all if they were a 2 seed versus a 1 seed? Does either one of those seeds affect Golden State?
Yeah, because if they get the 7th seed, they got to play the Clippers, man, and that's just dangerous. No, I'm just playing. I don't think it's going to matter, because I think the Warriors will still end up in the Western Conference Finals regardless.
What do you have to say about your Clippers? Because the reports are, of course, the players I don't think feel this way, but your team is looking to lose. They got rid of Tobias Harris. Your team should be losing on purpose. And people feel like Sacramento is not going to be doing anything. So what's your thoughts on the way the Clippers are playing, even though it seems like they're not playing for anything? What would you rather see as a fan?
I want to see us win every single game.
Okay.
I'm not with the tanking. I want us to win every game we can, and then when this summer comes, hopefully we could get some big-name free agents, you know what I mean? Hopefully Kawhi Leonard still want to come to the Clippers, and maybe we could get an AD or something. But I want us to win. I'm not with the tanking. I don't care about that draft.
Thank you, man. I hate tanking. God, I hate tanking.
KB.
I'm not a tanking.
KB, he's trying to sell me on this Boogie Cousins in the postseason, man. And I'm telling you, I cannot wait to get my popcorn ready to see what this boy do, man.
Boogie's going to eat, man. Boogie's going to eat. Everybody watch out. Everybody that's listening to this, watch out. Watch what I'm saying. Mark my word, man. This man hungry, man. I'm telling you. You go a little harder when you hungry. He the only person that got nothing on the team. Few all-star appearances.
That makes sense.
He really about to go get it out there. That's what I'm saying, man. And then who could see him?
with all that firepower in the court, and you have to focus with him one-on-one, who can see him?
Everything you're saying is
Gobert,
facts.
man. Rudy Gobert is there.
Wow.
Man,
when
Rudy
he
Gobert
when he
too
cried
soft, man.
when he cried for not making the All-Star team, I was done with him. I was
too
done.
soft,
He was
man.
too soft.
Yeah, I was
He
done.
might be.
I was like, nah, I can't deal.
He might be a little too soft for him.
Yeah, we had to
I
get
was
it.
just trying to think of somebody else.
All right, man. We about to get up
So-
out of here, man. T7M Radio. This is the best of 7 Sports Talk. 7 Mitchell, KB, Mike in the building. We about to sign off. Join us every Tuesday and Thursday, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern as we go live. We also going to be locked in on Saturdays around this time, 6 p.m. Eastern, man. Salute to the fellas. Any final thoughts? Any
Hey,
final
let me
words,
get
fellas?
let me get a quick shout out to my son. This is his birthday today. Happy birthday, KJ.
Happy birthday,
Daddy.
King.
Love you.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday.
Happy
How old is
birthday
he?
to KJ.
He's 7.
Woo! Lucky 7,
Oh,
man.
yeah. 37.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yup.
All right, man.
Yes,
y'all
sir.
be good. Y'all stay safe, and we'll be locked in next time, man. Y'all be good.